evening, you're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom. The Rajasthan government now in a crisis. At least 83 leaders belonging to the Congress and their allies say that they are going to resign, and they are now apparently on their way to the Speaker. This on a day of very fast-paced political developments when all of these leaders met at the residence of an aide, somebody very close to Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister, Shanti Dhariwal, and at that residence they made it very clear that if Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister, files papers to nominate himself to run for the post of Congress President, then they will not accept Sachin Pilot as the new Chief Minister. Remember, according to what is believed to be the Congress script, Sachin Pilot was expected to take over as Chief Minister if Ashok Gehlot went and filed his nomination to run for the post of Congress President. Now, by choosing now, and this is the big development, to actually go to the Speaker and not attend a meeting of the Congress Legislature Party and resign in front of the Speaker, this puts the government and its viability in terms of numbers and its stability very much in doubt. Because if they are to resign, and the numbers, in fact, over 90 Congress MLAs is what we now have, then the overall strength of the Assembly goes down significantly, and it gives the BJP a chance to actually form the government. Now, this is still being seen as an internal power struggle of the Congress party. It is not being seen at this juncture as a game being played out by the BJP op lotus, or call it what you will. Let's listen in to what the senior leader Pratap Singh Kachariawas had to say just a few minutes back.
प्रताप जी, क्या निर्णय रहा है? क्या निर्णय रहा?
हम सीपी जोशी जी के यहाँ जा रहे हैं सारे विधायक।
आप लोग रिजाइन कर रहे हैं क्या?
बिल्कुल कर रहे हैं। हमारी नेता सोनिया गांधी जी, राहुल गांधी जी के नेतृत्व में, और हम सब लोग हमारी भावनाएं पहुंचाना चाहते हैं, और हम महंगाई गरीबी का जो आंदोलन है उसके लिए राहुल गांधी जी के साथ सड़कों पर अपनी जान देने के लिए तैयार हैं।
पर आप लोग रिजाइन क्यों कर रहे हैं?
राजस्थान में जो हालात पहले बने, हम डेढ़ महीने तक वहाँ रहे, और जिन लोगों ने सरकार गिराने की कोशिश की, तो उनके आधार पर पार्टी में फैसले नहीं किए जाए। डिस्कस एक ही बात मुझे सब एमएलए कह रहे थे कि हम होटलों में पड़े रहे एक डेढ़ महीने तक। तो अशोक गहलोत जी हमसे बात करें, सोनिया गांधी जी, राहुल गांधी जी जब आह्वान करेंगे सड़कों पर संघर्ष के लिए, तो हम जान दे देंगे, खून पसीना बहा देंगे। लेकिन राजस्थान में बीजेपी का षड्यंत्र कामयाब नहीं होना चाहिए, कांग्रेस कमजोर नहीं होनी चाहिए। वो लोग जो कल तक कांग्रेस की सरकार गिरा रहे थे, एमएलए का कहना है, तो कम से कम उनको आपने पहले मिनिस्टर बना दिया, सब कुछ कर दिया, अब आप उनको और आगे लाएंगे तो हमारा क्या होगा?
तो मतलब ये है कि सचिन पायलट नहीं मुख्यमंत्री बने क्या? ये
एक व्यक्ति का नाम कहीं नहीं आया है। बात ये आई है कि जो लॉयलिस्ट हैं, जो एमएलए बैठे रहे वहाँ पे, उन पर विचार किया जाए।
और कितने एमएलएस हैं आप लोग?
90 बाढ़ में एमएलए थे अंदर, बाढ़ में 90।
So there you have it, that almost 90 MLAs, according to Pratap, almost 90 MLAs now going, and they're all going in one by one, going to resign. So they're going to the Speaker, and now it looks like the Congress actually has a full-fledged crisis on its hand here in Rajasthan. Yes, go ahead, please.
Why are they resigning?
Well, clearly, like you heard him say, they don't want anything that will destabilize the party in Rajasthan. According to them, they stayed in the hotel when that 2020 rebellion happened, and earlier also they passed a resolution saying that anyone from that group should become Chief Minister. We don't want that. So it's quite clear that this whole thing is against Sachin Pilot. It's not, I mean, that's very clear. The writing on the wall is very clear. And
no,
like
but Harsha, if they do resign,
that Joe MLAs, whoever has more MLAs, that's where the numbers should go.
No, but Harsha, if they do go resign to the Speaker, as they say they are going to do, if they do go resign, then that effectively brings down the strength on the floor of the Assembly. How does that actually help them? Because his first sentence was that they're still loyal to the Congress and the Gandhis.
Well, Vishnu, the drive from here to the Speakers is still about 20 minutes away. So, anything can happen in 20 minutes. I'll be bringing you all the news. So let them at least get to the Speaker. Let's see what happens. Maybe Ashok Gehlot comes there. Maybe there's some kind of a compromise, because Gehlot and Pilot are meeting. And like I'm saying, that see now they're walking out very slowly. Okay, so if you just see, they're walking out in ones and twos. So
and Harsha, keep talking over these pictures.
This is all the politics. So they're all walking out in ones and twos. they're not working out altogether. And
are they
so
boarding
it really
that bus
could go,
which was
any
pre-positioned?
which way, really. So Vishnu, so there's, like I said, there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. Let them get to the speakers. We'll bring you all the action from there.
No, Harsha, are they
I
getting
don't
on
think
that
they're going to
bus?
bring down the government and hand it over to the BJP on a platter.
No, but Harsha, are they getting onto that bus which was pre-positioned? Because a little while back, this bus suddenly emerged. Now, so which clearly indicates that there was a plan, that people knew that they were all going to go and get onto this bus and go somewhere. Right? And there was a Shamiana wala also who told you, right, very importantly, that look, we've been told to set up Shamiana. So obviously, it was known. It was known to Shanti Dhariwal that this is all happening. This is happening at Shanti Dhariwal's house.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Shamiana, the Shamiana wala, from the Shamiana wala, it was quite clear it was a big party. Huh? It wasn't just a small tea party happening. It was a full-fledged dinner party. Should I call it the last supper, Vishnu? I don't know. I shouldn't get myself run away with, many idioms. But, the interesting thing is really that, they knew this was going to happen. Now, listen, interestingly, Pratap Khachariawas, when he was talking to us, also said, Ashok Gehlot ji humse aake baat kare. Sonia Gandhi ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, humse aake baat kare. So they want the High Command to come and talk to them. This is what they want. They're digging their heels in, but they're not going to give this. They're not going to give Rajasthan to anybody else on a platter. That, I think, would just, be a self-goal of absolutely mammoth proportions. But, so that I think that they're kind of taking up a position and then they're going to bargain from there. That's what it seems to be.
And Harsha, the bottom line in terms of numbers, they're well over 50%, right? In terms of the strength of the Congress and its allies.
Definitely. Yeah.
How many
so
supporters?
Just to give you a sense of the assembly, it's a 200-member assembly in Rajasthan.
Right.
And the Congress on its own has a very slim majority, about 101. They have the BSP MLAs supporting them, that's 107. And they have independents, 12 independents supporting them, many of whom were here, by the way. So given that, they have about 123. And then you add the BTP and the CPIM also. So the Congress on its own is on a slim wicket. And... Ji. हाँ बताइए आप कहाँ जा रहे हैं आपका नाम बताइए
हम सब माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अशोक
ओके सो हियर्स एन एमएलए who's come to give a bite yes हाँ बताइए आपका नाम बताइए पहले
मैं प्रतापगढ़ से एमएलए हूँ और पूरे राजस्थान के सभी एमएलए माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत साहब के साथ रामलाल मीणा मेरा नाम है
ठीक है रामलाल मीणा जी
हम सब अशोक जी गहलोत साहब के साथ में हैं और हमारे मुख्यमंत्री वही रहने चाहिए इसको लेके हम सब जा रहे हैं और आला कमान से हमारी यही मांग है कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अशोक जी गहलोत रहना चाहिए इसी को लेके हम सभी विधायकों ने तय किया है कि हमारे मुख्यमंत्री हमसे जाने नहीं चाहिए इसलिए हम इस्तीफा दे रहे हैं
नहीं तो इस्तीफा दोगे तो फिर बीजेपी की सरकार बन जाएगी ना
नहीं हम सब जा रहे हैं और हमारी मांग को मनवा करेंगे और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी की हमारी मांग को आला कमान जरूर सुनेगा और उस पर कार्रवाई होगी
तो आप वेट कर रहे हैं कि आला कमान से कोई आपसे बात करेगा
बिल्कुल
तो बेसिकली ये है कि सचिन पायलट और उनका ग्रुप से कोई नहीं बनना चाहिए
हमारे तो अशोक गहलोत राजस्थान के सर्वमान्य नेता हैं वो रहेंगे
ठीक है सो जस्ट पवन इफ यू कैन से नाउ वन बैच इज लीविंग देयर दे गो a number of those MLAs on their way to meet the speaker now and like I said it became quite clear from Mr. Meena's conversation with us that this is a pressure tactic so I asked him that you're handing it over to the BJP no we're not handing it over to the BJP we want Ashok Gehlot to remain as chief minister and so now there you have it. It's not even someone else. We want Ashok Gehlot to remain as chief minister and we want the High Command to talk to us.
Harsha, we've got some images from the inside of the bus as well. Let's bring that up full frame on the screen. As Harsha catches her breath, I can just quickly remind our viewers of what they're seeing. Very fast-paced political developments in Rajasthan. It's fair to say that the Rajasthan government itself is in a serious crisis at this stage. Approximately 93 leaders loyal to Ashok Gehlot say that they're going to resign. They say that they're on their way to the Speaker of the House. Their goal is very clear. They don't want Sachin Pilot to become Chief Minister. Sachin Pilot was likely to become Chief Minister if Ashok Gehlot filed nomination papers to try and contest for the post of President of the Congress Party, something which he indicated his interest in doing. All of the leaders that actually emerged out of the house of Shanti Dhariwal, where all of these leaders assembled, Shanti Dhariwal being a very close associate of Ashok Gehlot, made it absolutely clear that look, we want to hear from the Congress leadership. And so this is a pressure tactic on the Congress leadership. that look, you have to listen to us right now, otherwise we're going to resign. But I think the key question which emerges now is that if they were to hypothetically resign, and it is a pressure tactic, I think we need to repeat that over and over, then that effectively hands the BJP, the government, on a plate. Remember, the Congress numbers were still relatively slim, approximately 110 loyal to in the Congress party. It's a 200 member. It's the overall strength of the assembly 200. 100 or so, I believe, is the magic mark, the halfway mark. They are at about 123, of which 123 with allies, but of 93 Congress leaders at this stage, and I think a few might be allies, have said that they're willing to resign. So let's quickly introduce my panelists. Supriya Shrinate, national spokesperson of the Congress. Rashid Kidwai also joins us. Brajesh Kalapa has been a Congress leader in the past, now with the Aam Aadmi Party. Sunil Jakhar from the BJP. Supriya, let me come to you first. Will the Gandhis now talk to Ashok Gehlot, Sachin Pilot, or more importantly, perhaps, all of these 90 leaders? How is this crisis going to play itself out? Supriya.
So thank you very much for having me on the show. I think the first thing that I'd like to say, and I'd like to say very emphatically, is that supporters and people who have faith in local or senior leadership obviously are passionate about it, and this is what is playing out. Please wait and watch what the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot, is going to do. What did Pratap Kachwariya tell Harsha, your colleague? He said it very categorically. We want Ashok Gehlot to come and talk to us, and I'm reasonably certain that the Rajasthan Chief Minister will intervene and there will be a resolution to this. Please understand this. If the Rajasthan Chief Minister, Mr Gehlot, is going to file his nomination and looks like he is going to be the most serious candidate in the fray for the Congress presidency, he's not going to do anything that is going to bring any sort of bad name to Rajasthan or to himself particularly. So I think, these are events that are playing out in 24/7 television news coverage. Every step counts. But I think the last man who will have to speak to them is going to be the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot ji, and I'm reasonably certain. And I'm not just saying this for the optics.
No, I'm sure that would be the case, Supriya. I'm sure that he would. It's just a matter of time. But these are 90 odd leaders, and I say 90 odd because I think a few of your allies might be amongst them. So say about approximately 90 leaders. If they are all Congress leaders, they have not listened to the diktat of Mallikarjun Kharge, Ajay Makan, your central observers. They aren't listening to what you're saying. It's a straightforward disciplinary issue. But at this stage... Actually, Vishnu, I disagree with you.
Okay. And I think I'm a lone voice that will disagree with you because I also respect electoral politics.
Okay.
And if you are an elected MLA, there are no diktats that you have to listen to. I think they are saying what they believe in. I think the leadership will have to reach out to them.
But Supriya...
On question of discipline and diktat, we're not the BJP where 1.5 people sit in a room here in Delhi and decide to change 3 chief ministers for Uttarakhand, or for that matter an overnight change without...
But if all of these leaders actually say, Supriya...
If that's discipline, I'm glad we don't have that.
Okay, I take your point that, okay, fine. Be that as it may, if all of these leaders go to the speaker and they say they're going to go and they say they're going to resign, then that effectively hands over Rajasthan on a plate. Now, I understand when you say, Supriya, that look, Ashok Gehlot will intervene at some stage. But my God, they've taken it right up to the edge. They've taken it right up to the brink. They know better than anybody else what happens if they go and resign.
I think elected MLAs who have worked with Mr Gehlot for 4 years are being emotional. I think nobody in their right mind is ever going to do something which will topple the government or hand it over to the BJP. The BJP can keep thinking about it. कि मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने वो देख सकते हैं, पर ऐसा होगा नहीं. I'm sure there will be a resolution.
But is it really a sapna at this stage? Let me ask Mr. Jakhar that, Mr. Sunil Jakhar, where is this opportunity? Is this an opportunity for the BJP?
I don't see any opportunities here. Whatever is happening here, Vishnuji, you must realize this is Congress party's own doing. As your reporter Harshaji was talking in Jaipur, that there's a writing on the wall. And I think not just the tent wala, but everybody who has anything to do with politics in the country knows that Gehlot Sahab never wanted to be the Congress president. And he made it clear that in case he does agree to contest the election, he would still like to retain his position. And that's why he said that this Udaipur declaration does not apply to contested posts, it's only for nominations. But I think the High Command did not read it as it should have been read, and they have created a mess of their own. So precisely what I can say right now, without judging anybody for what they are and what they are saying, is the damage to the Congress party has been done. Whosoever becomes the chief minister, that remains to be seen. But everything what is happening is now a replica of what happened in Punjab Congress when Mr. Chani was elected or imposed by the High Command. It is going according to the script, where they will bring to a position that we do not want. If Mr. Gehlot is not coming in, we want to have somebody who is not from the camp of the other camp, which was the dissident camp. And I think if one thing I do not agree with your reporter and with you also, that you also run this tag that Mr. Pilot has the green light from the High Command. I don't think so. The advisors to the High Command, especially people close to Rahul Gandhi in this matter, they have planned it to a point. They will take it to the brink, and then they will say, leave it to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and he will decide, a person who is neither close to Mr. Sachin Pilot nor to Gehlot Sahab. And this will be one of those whom I refer to as black sheep.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Vishnu.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Make a very
yeah,
brief
Supriya.
point, please. Just a very brief point. With all due respect to once my senior colleague, Mr. Jakar, Rajasthan is not Punjab. And we do not have people who are going to run away to the other camp like Mr. Jakar and Captain Amrinder Singh did. So be rest assured on that. And as far as the position of the Congress presidency is concerned, if Mr. Gehlot is going to indeed file his nomination, he will be a very acceptable candidate. I think this crisis, as you call it, are political events that are playing out. I am sure Mr. Gehlot is going to intervene and this will be resolved.
No, but Supriya, just one question.
I will say it one more time. And the gentleman speaking was also the Punjab president for 4 long years. So if he is going to squarely blame somebody who was chief minister for a very brief while, the blame also lies on his doorstep. And to do the somersaults on your ideology, sir, I may be a lot junior, I may be a lot younger, but I don't agree with what you did. And I speak for a lot of Congress women and men at this point in time.
Nobody is agreeing with anybody on this panel, but that's okay. Supriya, we are still around to disagree, aren't we? But Supriya, let me come to you next. The Congress party has made it absolutely clear that there is a one post, one person sort of setup, and therefore if Ashok Gehlot is to go and become potentially Congress president, he has to give up this chief minister's post. In a situation like this, when so many leaders say that Gehlot has to continue, is it possible that Mr. Gehlot would say, all right, I will give up my ambitions in terms of becoming potentially president of the Congress and I will remain as chief minister? The Congress party in the state will be more secure.
I don't think Mr. Gehlot is confiding in me on a minute-to-minute basis to tell me that. But I think whatever little I know of my chief minister, I can tell you one thing with certainty here, that Mr. Gehlot has already made a statement that he also agrees with that one-party rule that was adopted at the Udaipur Chintan Shibir. And I am sure please understand, these are MLAs who consider him their leader. And they are not willing to let go either of him, or they're not willing to, stand in unison for somebody else. I think Mr. Gehlot is going to intervene, and this happens across political leaderships.
Okay, Supriya, one more question before I go to my other panelists. Supriya, before I go to my other panelists, what happens to Sachin Pilot now? And let's face it, there was a script. Pilot was supposed to take over as CM. Gehlot was supposed to potentially move to Delhi. So now what's going to happen to Sachin Pilot?
The difference between Punjab and Rajasthan for us, and I'm sorry I'm going back to Punjab, and I'm not trying to insult Mr. Jakar here, is that in Rajasthan we got Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Pilot who will fight this out together, and we will ensure that in 2023 the Congress returns to power. Mr. Pilot is a hugely popular leader. He's somebody we all look up to. He's young, he's energetic. He also takes on the BJP. I'm sure we have to wait for the last word on this to be spoken. I'm not going to hazard a guess, but I think he has a hugely prosperous career ahead of him.
Sanket Upadhyay, my colleague, joins us as well. Sanket, it's a strange irony, isn't it? On the one hand, Ashok Gehlot was trying to become Congress president, replacing the Gandhis in that post. But now there needs to be the Gandhis only who can potentially resolve the crisis in Rajasthan. because these leaders and you know, Pratap Kachariawaz made it absolutely clear that we need to hear from them. So bottom line, it goes back to him, to the Gandhis, and they need to act.
Absolutely. You know, Vishnu, the point is, Supriya will not agree with this assessment, but it has to be said. This is a man, the Rajasthan Chief Minister, who ensured that Ahmed Patel in 2017 get elected into the Rajya Sabha. I was there in Swarnim Sankul in Gandhinagar, and I saw how he almost became bus conductor, counting each and every MLA. That is his, you know, fine, minute planning, granular planning that Mr. Ashok Gehlot does. This is an Ashok Gehlot who made sure that Operation Lotus fails in his state of Rajasthan. It is the one state where the BJP also in close quarter admits we could not succeed. And in a situation like this, it is very clear that whatever these MLAs are saying, I think this has the express approval of Mr. Ashok Gehlot, who was told by the Congress leadership, well, if you assume a larger position, then you will have to let go of the state position. Now, with this new pressure group of 92 MLAs saying exactly what Mr. Ashok Gehlot once said, and he is not guilty of saying it himself, these are the MLAs saying it. That's how the Congress party functions. It is a pressure building tactic.
Right.
Look at the names that are floating around, Vishnu. I think Mr. Gehlot will be only too happy if Mr. C.P. Joshi, if Mr. Govind Singh Dotatsra or Mr. B.D. Kalla becomes the Rajasthan Chief Minister. I think the basic problem, and if you read the fine print, what Harsha was told by Pratap Singh Kachariawaz, who's a very prominent leader, and also the various MLAs who came out. They said those people who conspired against their own government and sat in resorts, we have a problem with them being elevated and being handed over the reins of the party. So the Chief Minister, Ashok Gehlot, will have no problem if a loyalist is chosen for the top post, not anyone, either Sachin Pilot or anyone close to Sachin Pilot.
So this is a pressure tactic which the Gandhis will have to accept. It's in a sense, it's about their strength and leadership within their own formation at this stage. That they get bulldozed into taking a decision where some other people actually appoint a chief minister.
In Rajasthan, 92 MLAs means more than 90% of the Congress party is supporting Ashok Gehlot's decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Rashid Kidwai, two interesting points. Maybe you'd like to reflect on them. Just to build on what Sanket was saying, that this has been engineered possibly by Ashok Gehlot himself. The bus that we have seen, all of a sudden there is this bus which emerges from this lane outside the residence of Shanti Dhariwal. How did that bus get there? Had Mr. Dhariwal not known that there will be a bus that is required for all of these leaders who will come? And then a Shamiana wala who we spoke to, Harsha spoke to, basically said, no, I always knew there was going to be a big event over here. This was game, set and match. It's not match as yet, but this is certainly the game and the set which has been going in the Ashok Gehlot camp. He knew what was happening.
Vishnu, this is a litmus test for Mr. Ashok Gehlot. He has to sort this out. You see, here the issue is not about who becomes the chief minister. Here it's about, posing faith in the Congress High Command or Congress leadership and pass a resolution, single line resolution authorizing the Congress president, the current Congress president, to take a call. Now this resignation and all is bogus. It's bogus in the sense because we all know as reporters, there is a format. You cannot resign in, 92 people going in the bus, etc. It has to be signed. It has to be signed individually. You cannot assign a reason. All kind of things are there. So that's not going to there. I think Mr. Gehlot's call, Mr. Gehlot seriously wants to become the Congress president and run the Congress organization, the entire, 28 states and 8 union territories and regional congresses. He has to show his leadership quality, the statesmanship and some kind of, rising above this kind of, regional state leaders consideration. So that is it. I mean, ideally, Vishnu, he should have had support of 108 MLAs.
Right.
He is actually, the CLP leader. He should be doing it. I just want to give, when Mr. Amrinder Singh was removed, not a single MLA went with him. So please, for political reasons, don't think that the authority of Congress central leadership would get undermined.
All right. Okay. Just one. One second, Mr. Kalappa, you're a former Congress leader yourself, now with the Aam Aadmi Party. Do you see this as the Rajasthan Congress self-destructing?
No, I don't. For one, it's not proper for me to speak about the internal affairs of another political party. In fact, I was under the impression that we were going to be discussing the Congress president election. But be that as it may,
Yeah,
what I
but
would like
things
to
changed, as you can see in the last couple of hours.
No, but what I'd like to say, Vishnu, is just this: that insofar as Rajasthan is concerned, I think this brinksmanship should have been avoided by the Congress party. And I think this brinksmanship takes away from the fact that the party could be re-elected. I think if this brinksmanship could have been taken away, I think it would have been far better. But ultimately, it's for the party leadership to deal with its own affairs. And I'm not sure what the facts are and how they are playing out. But I would certainly have liked to take away this kind of brinksmanship if I were leading the party.
All right, Supriya, one final question to you as I wrap up this segment. You know, these leaders have now reached the Speaker's house. So, Brajesh was just mentioned the word brinkmanship. This is brinkmanship of the highest order if they go hand in letters. So, though that phone call needs to come right now.
Vishnu, resignations don't happen like that. You and I have known enough political process.
No, but if they sign a piece of paper, then it starts the process.
Because I go and meet someone and say, I'm going to resign, that's not how resignations happen. There's an entire process that's followed, A. And B, I think the very important fact of the matter is that this also is a litmus test, not just for Mr. Gehlot, but for these MLAs themselves. They're elected representatives. They cannot and will not put the party or the government in jeopardy. So let us not lose sight of the matter. I am sure there will be an intervention and I'm sure there will be a resolution. I stay optimistic and I stay absolutely certain. I am reasonably certain that for a man who's looking to perhaps become the next president of the Indian National Congress, he's going to resolve this matter.
All right. I'm going to continue with this discussion, try and bring back Harsha Kumari Singh in a few moments from now.
Last comment.
Yes, please go ahead, Mr. Jakar.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. I think we lost that line over there with Sunil Jakar. We'll try and come back to it in a moment from now. Let me go to, all right, Mr. Jakar, we can go across to you now. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Vishnu, I wanted to say whatever may be the result, but the Congress seems to be hell-bent upon destroying itself. Like not just shooting itself in the thing, but I think they have followed a policy of destroy and then rebuild, rather than fixing nut and bolts. This is their own creation. And wait, I again stick to my word, when this reaches the high command level that they nominate somebody here as the chief minister, wait till they pull out another channi out of their pocket. Neither it's going to be Mr. Sachin Pilot, nor C.P. Joshi, nor Dodasra, nor Chaudhary Hemaram. It will be another channi. I can bet on it.
All right, okay. Supriya, would you like to respond to that? That, there's going to be a dark horse picked as the chief minister.
Black sheep, not dark horse.
All right,
no.
a black sheep. Sorry, not a dark horse, a black sheep.
Yeah, it's a black sheep.
As a chief minister, somebody who we don't sort of have any idea right now.
I know where the pain for Mr. Jakar emanates from. उन्होंने तो बहुत जल्दबाजी में लड्डू बांट दिए थे, तो उनका पेन वहां से और वो मुझे समझ में आ रहा है. I am not going to answer a question that he's raising. I'm only going to ask him a question of the BJP. कैसे चल रही है सर? साइडलाइन होकर कैसा लग रहा है? और उस पार्टी को जिसको आपने जिंदगी भर खिलाफत करी, वहां पर पिछलग्गू बनकर आपको कैसा लग रहा है? I think this is a question that a lot of Congress women, men, youngsters like me would want to ask leaders like how do you decided on ideology, sir? That's a question that I would like to ask you. I'm raising a question for you. लड्डू बांटने में आपने जल्दबाजी कर दी थी. यहाँ पर कोई जल्दबाजी नहीं हो.
Mr. Jakar?
There were no laddus to be distributed. I was never in the reckoning. It was the MLAs who decided again. That's why I said the whole Punjab scenario is being repeated. I got more than 50%. I forgot.
Sir, thank you, Adrian.
Two MLAs voting for me.
To know that.
Okay, 1 second. All right, both of you.
He was president for 4 years.
Let's get back to
another Chennai will undo the Congress in Rajasthan.
Sanket, how does this play out? How do you believe this is going to play out in the hours ahead? I would tend to agree with Supriya when she says that it's just a matter of time. before Mr. Gehlot steps in. Perhaps he knows exactly when he's going to step in, but step in he must. Otherwise, you don't hand over a government to the BJP potentially.
Absolutely, and I don't think this is going to be the strategy of Mr. Ashok Gehlot or the Congress party. You see, power is a great glue which keeps everyone together. And do remember, there is still 1 year and 1 month left for an election in Rajasthan. Are we trying to say that these Congress MLAs are willing to face the people or sit idle at home for 1 year and hand their government over to the BJP on a platter? That isn't the strategy. It's very clear that this is a pressure building tactic to show where the loyalty and allegiance lies in Rajasthan. So it is very clear that the MLAs have been positioned, and the Congress always says, the leadership always says that, eventually this is the decision of the Congress. Rashid Kidwai said that usually the format is that the MLAs then authorize the central leadership to take a decision. But here things are very different. I mean, the same script is not playing out in Rajasthan. The script is very different. It's very, very clearly mentioned to the central leadership. This is nothing but a pressure building tactic and a message to the central leadership that fine, Mr. Gehlot may get elevated as the Congress president, should not make room for Sachin Pilot or any of his loyalists. To that extent, I feel this is a message that would have been communicated by now to the central leadership. This crisis is not going to end tonight, but one is expecting a very busy week up ahead.
No, but Sanket, I think Supriya made an interesting point when she said that there's a process to resignation. It's not enough to say, I'm going to resign now, I've reached the Speaker's house.
Which is why I'm saying it's a pressure building tactic.
They have to, what is the process to resigning? There are
The
letters
process
of
is that
resignation.
they are supposed to hand it over to the Chief Minister.
Right.
Then this goes to the Governor.
Oh, there's
If you
a
don't
sound bite
resign-
coming in. Let's just half a sec,
Yeah.
let's listen in. Yeah.
ये आवाज सुन ली आपने सड़क पे, इसलिए आप मेरे बारे में, मैं सड़क का आदमी हूँ। मैंने आपको इतनी बड़ी बात की, सोनिया गांधी जी, राहुल गांधी जी, अशोक गहलोत जी के आह्वान पर जब आंदोलन होगा, राहुल गांधी जी आह्वान करेंगे तो जान दे देंगे, खून बहा देंगे, ये तो होता है। अरे पार्टी के भीतर आंदोलन नहीं हो रहा, बीजेपी के षड्यंत्र का जवाब दे रहे हैं। कल हमारे एमएलए यूनाइट रहने चाहिए, नाराज नहीं होने चाहिए एमएलए।
All right, that's Pratap Khachariawas, the senior Congress leader in Rajasthan, once again pledging his loyalty to the Gandhis, looking at it quite clearly for some direction. Supriya, that really does seem, that's the second time that we've heard Mr. Pratap Khachariawas speak in the last little while. Clearly talking about his loyalty to the Gandhis and Ashok Gehlot, expecting some sort of signal, right? So, this isn't, your argument is that this isn't the BJP which is going to gain from this. You need to sort out your own mess.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is an emotional reaction of the MLAs. And of course, we'll sort it out. I am not going to be naive enough here to say this is BJP playing out. No, it is not. I think these are our MLAs. They're given into emotions. They're given to react passionately. And I think that is what we are seeing. I'm reasonably certain that this will be sorted out. And when I say this so calmly and with such coolness, I'm reasonably certain. I know that this will happen. There's some things that I know and I don't want to say it on air.
Oh, sorry, I missed that sentence. You were about to say something, Supriya?
I said, no, I just said I wasn't going to say anything at all.
Mr. Jakar, the BJP would be watching this with amazement at one level, but certainly there'd be senior BJP leaders who would be looking at how they can make a play over here. So what is the play of the BJP going forward in Rajasthan, or does that not exist at this stage?
I personally think this would, if all of them resign, 90 of them are there at the speaker, going to the speaker's house, and if they do resign, I think it will call for a fresh election.
So that is what you're hoping for.
I think
they
BJP
carry out.
party is ready for that.
Sanket?
Unless all en masse join BJP, that's a different story. But I think...
boss. 92 MLAs joining the BJP in Rajasthan.
You never know. You never know. You have seen what's happening in Haryana.
Sir, not everybody compromises with their ideology as easily easily as
Well,
you
their
and Captain
ideological
Singh did. Not
levels
everybody
is
does so.
till they are shown the door.
Do not think
They
that
are
the
given
entire Congress
notices.
party is going to follow in your footsteps. Never. We hate what
Supraji,
you
there
did.
are
We touched
still
what
some
you did.
people
We
in
criticized what you
politics
did,
who
and we
respect
vowed
their,
never to do it, sir.
who have
You know, can I tell you something, Mr. Jakar?
value their
You know,
self.
it's a right now, Mr. Jakar. Mr. Jakar, one moment. You may be perhaps rubbing your hands in glee looking at this situation. But you know, Mr. Jakar, I hope you realize that the BJP in Rajasthan is also very divided house. BJP in Rajasthan is also very divided. You've got the Vasundhara Raje camp and there's the Om Mathur camp.
The High Command is not sowing the seeds of dissension. The difference between Congress and here is that the seeds of dissension have been
sown. Are you sure? Do you know the Nara in Rajasthan ahead of the elections in 2018? Modi tujhse bair nahi, Rani teri khair nahi. These were official slogans in the BJP against Vasundhara Raje.
Well,
one second.
Okay, Supriya, go ahead. Yes.
Supriya,
one second, Mr. Jakar.
I think BJP is ready to take on whatever challenges are thrown.
He's doing a Padiyatra. He's walking all by himself. Mr. Punia doesn't speak to Mr. Kataria. Mr. Kataria doesn't speak to Vasundhara ji. And Vasundhara ji and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat can't see eye to eye. And of course, there's a parachute candidate now, of course, in the fray, Rajyavardhan Rathod. That's the condition of the BJP. You've got not one but 50 factions. Sort out your own mess, sir. Not everywhere.
All right, okay. One second, Mr. Jakar, half a second. I want to go across to Rashid Kidwai, who's been waiting patiently. Mr. Kidwai, this is just an unreal situation. The Congress at the centre, their leaders evidently are unable to control leaders in a state. They aren't following the writ of central observers, Ajay Makan, Mallikarjun Kharge. They're doing exactly what they want. And somebody seen to be one of the closest to the Gandhis, Ashk Gehlot, seems to have engineered this. Where does that leave the Gandhis?
Yes. So, Vishnu, we must understand here, Mr. Ashok Gehlot is a centerpiece. You see, the entire thing, why is he being elevated to Congress president post? Because somewhere the Congress leadership wanted to resolve this kind of political crisis of Rajasthan. Otherwise, there is no dearth of Congress persons who are senior, who have a lot of experience to run the party organization. As you know that, the timing for filing nomination is till 30th. And there is still scope for others to come in. So what I'm saying is, it is everything at stake for Mr. Ashok Gehlot. If Mr. Ashok Gehlot messes up or whatever, the Congress MLAs defy leadership, whatever you want to say it, Mr. Gehlot has a real chance of not only losing the chief minister post, but also, foregoing this office of Congress president, which, by the way, is a very kind of sought after thing for any Congress member worth his salt. So in this scenario, I think, it's actually a very difficult thing and crisis just for one person, and that person's name is Ashok Gehlot. Yeah. It is not a crisis for Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi. See, they have plenty of cards on their table. Well, Mr. Jakar is right in the sense they may create someone else who may, the Congress may lose eventually. But at present, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, who thought that he can ride on, two horses or, do nav ki savari, I think he is in the biggest mess unless he clears this mess.
All right. Okay, we're going to need to take a short break. I'll come back. Mr. Jakar, half a sec, sir. I'll come back in a little while. Try and get back our colleague, my colleague Harsha Kumari Singh as well. And then let's see what the latest developments are. The Congress in a crisis in Rajasthan, no two ways about it. Stay tuned. Sanket, it's fascinating, isn't it, that these MLAs have actually pushed their luck, pushed the ante right to the brink. They've gone and they said, we are here to resign. I would assume that this is where it ends, but it's interesting that they've said, no, we are going to resign. There's no, we want to talk, we will wait for a phone call, none of that. We have gone to resign.
Here is why this has happened, Vishnu, because these MLAs had a clear idea of who is going to be the next chief minister, how the cabinet is going to be like, and how Rajasthan Congress or the Rajasthan government is going to look like. And it is very clear for a person, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, who fought tooth and nail. Remember the sort of things he said for Sachin Pilot. Nakara hai, nikamma hai. These were very strong words. And Sachin Pilot himself was ensconced in the comfort of a Haryana resort, along with some of his rebel MLAs. the central leadership did forget about all of that. But the thing is, the Congress would have never forgotten any other faction had it done the same. So this over-eagerness to forgive the Sachin Pilot faction has clearly not gone down with Ashok Gehlot.
Right.
And number two, with Ashok Gehlot's loyalists. I repeat once again, the bus in which you see these MLAs and the 90 MLAs are not acting of their own volition. It does not happen like this. Mr. Ashok Gehlot is a master strategist, and he has proved that over and over and over again in the Congress party. He has saved his own government in Rajasthan from Operation Kamal. He has successfully led a campaign to make Mr. Ahmed Patel win the Rajya Sabha elections in 2017. On a number of occasions as General Secretary Organization of the party central leadership, he has outperformed any other senior leader. So for this to happen, this would definitely have some sort of an Ashok Gehlot stamp.
Right.
At the risk of, perhaps second guessing what could happen, one can expect over the next 1 week, Mr. Ashok Gehlot emerging as this magnanimous, larger figure, father figure to these MLAs, and trying to convince them, and then approach from a position of authority to the central leadership, saying that what could I have done? But I've managed to stop them from resigning, but they're saying they only want one among them to be the chief minister. So you let go of this Sachin Pilot dream. Let's see if that script plays out or not.
Yep. Harsha, let's go back to Harsha now. Harsha, what's happening around you at the Speaker's house?
So I am now outside the Speaker's residence actually, and the MLAs, they're saying that about 92 MLAs have gone in to meet the Speaker and given their resignation, while just a little distance away from here is the Chief Minister's residence. There apparently Mr. Ashok Gehlot is meeting Sachin Pilot and 21 other MLAs. The crowds are gathering here and they are sort of slogan shouting, Ashok Gehlot Zindabad. That's the kind of slogan shouting that we are hearing in the background. But having said that, a lot of political bargaining happening here at the Speaker's residence. Now, when we spoke to those MLAs, when we asked them, what was the plan? Because if 92 MLAs are going to the Speaker and resign, effectively that brings the government down really. And I don't think they're doing all this to hand it over to the BJP on a platter. So that's quite clear. So they said, no, we want Mr. Meena, one of the MLAs from Pratapgarh, and Mr. Pratap Singh Khacharyawaz, both said that they gave indications that they want the Congress High Command to talk to them. And this is their feeling. So they're clearly not going to be part of that script where they pass a one-line resolution saying that the High Command will decide who their Chief Minister will be. They're very clear that their Chief Minister has to be from those 102 MLAs who stood by the government when the rebellion happened in 2022. They're very very, very clear about that. And they want someone to be... as you can see, these are the hazards of reporting live. But anyway, so that is... one of the reasons, that's one of the things they're very clear on, that they definitely want, the person to be Chief Minister has to be from the pro-Gehlot camp. That's quite clear. Yeah.
So what do we expect this evening? We expect Ashok Gehlot to meet all of these MLAs at the residence of the Speaker and sort things out then? Will there be a message, no, let's come back and let's talk? The CLP, let's just to go back a little bit to the CLP, which was supposed to happen at 7 p.m. That didn't happen, and instead all these MLAs, that bus, which is right here now, Pawan, if you can just show that bus was actually parked behind Shanti Dhariwal's residence. So this was always planned, that they would be going in this bus to the Speakers. This was quite clear, and we saw the numbers increasing. So what happens next? Well, we are being told that Mr. Gehlot could come here to meet these MLAs, because right now he is with Mr. Makan and Mr. Kharge and Sachin Pilot and about 21 MLAs, we are being told. It could be a little more. So they are in fact inside the Chief Minister's residence. And the Chief Minister's residence is actually barely half a kilometer from the Speaker's residence. And they are right there, and it's believed that Mr. Gehlot could come here. Now the point is that, given the scale
of which this protest or this rebellion or whatever you can call it, this standoff, where they're kind of digging their heels in, given the scale of that, what is going to happen, what will the High Command agree to, what is the formula that will come out, is something that we are waiting and watching to see how much they will bend to accommodate Mr. Gehlot.
All right, Harsha, we'll let you catch your breath. Let's just go across to Sanket Upadhyay, who's been tracking all of the developments with me. I think it's important, Sanket, that we remind our viewers of what happened in 2020. There was Sachin Pilot along with 18 other leaders of the Congress who went across to Delhi and said that we represent the views of the large majority of the Congress in Rajasthan, and therefore I, Sachin Pilot, need to be given the opportunity of becoming Chief Minister. That rebellion was ultimately dealt with by the Gandhis, very, very difficult, but they more or less got the Congress together. Today, the Congress in Rajasthan split wide open, perhaps more so than ever before.
Vishnu, this is the third time we have these small seismic activities between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot. That has been, the trend for the past 3 years and 11 months. But 3 occasions since 2018, when the Congress party came to power in Rajasthan, we have seen this flare up. Number 1 was in 2018 itself. Kaun banega Chief Minister? Ashok Gehlot was the General Secretary organization of the party. It was very clear that Rahul Gandhi, the then Congress president, wanted Sachin Pilot to be the Chief Minister. Sachin Pilot also wanted to be the Chief Minister, saying that, look, I've worked really hard on the ground and I want to be Chief Minister. It's only natural, and let this be the natural succession plan for Rajasthan from Mr. Ashok Gehlot to Sachin Pilot. That never happened. Ashok Gehlot's writ ran large and he was able to convince the central leadership that I am going to go back to Rajasthan. It is important. Second happened in 2020 when Sachin Pilot led that rebellion but failed in front of the might of an Ashok Gehlot. He could not sustain his campaign and Ashok Gehlot won again. This is the third big flare-up that we are seeing in this very uncomfortable relationship between these two leaders. It'll be very interesting to see whether Mr. Ashok Gehlot will back off or will he continue to have his say. It's very clear that once he becomes the Congress president, it'll be difficult for him to be the Chief Minister of Rajasthan also. In a situation like this, an ideal situation would have been for a pro-Ashok Gehlot Chief Minister. In other words, his loyalist being the Chief Minister. I think that's what Mr. Ashok Gehlot is bargaining right now. Now that one post, one person is very clearly the diktat from the central leadership. I don't know how Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi are going to look at this rebellion, because I don't think they're naive enough to pass this off as just emotions of MLAs. They also know that this is coming from somewhere.
All right. Okay, so let's just we'll talk a little bit more about what Sanket is talking about, and I think we need to get a couple of reactions from the Sachin Pilot camp as well. Remember, what we've been reporting so far is that approximately 20-21 leaders loyal to Sachin Pilot are also with him at this stage. There's been a meeting which has taken place between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. In fact, that meeting might still be going on. We haven't at all heard from that camp, but make no bones, make no mistake, Sachin Pilot in his own right is a mass leader, one of the strongest, most prominent that the Congress actually has. He commands votes, he's won several elections and is indispensable in the caste equation of Rajasthan politics, and therefore in as much as he appears to be sidelined today, he, from the standpoint of winning elections in Rajasthan and from the standpoint of the Congress party itself, is certainly one of their most important leaders. Sanket, would you agree?
You see, Vishnu, understand the predicament over here. If Mr. Ashok Gehlot allows Sachin Pilot to become Chief Minister, then he is basically writing himself off. So now then he will no more be able to claim the Chief Minister's post ever. Because once you give in, it's gone. You have an alternative available. It's that alternative which he never wanted to give to the central leadership or to the state of Rajasthan. But if you compare Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, if you compare, draw in instant comparison in terms of numbers on how strong they are or how powerful they are in the party, 92 MLAs versus 17, 18 odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very clear. The numbers very clearly tell you who's more powerful in terms of controlling the party. Ashok Gehlot is a very, very strong organizations man. And you were saying that Sachin Pilot is a mass leader. Trust me, not a greater mass leader than Ashok Gehlot. I have reported from the state of Rajasthan, and I can tell you the sort of sharp eye to detail, granular detail, and very rustic politics, along with tact that Mr. Ashok Gehlot does. Sachin Pilot lacks that. Perhaps because he's inexperienced. Remember, he's still young. I mean, if you compare his age with Ashok Gehlot. Yeah, but then Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot fight is much more than passing the baton to someone younger. This is more to do with Ashok Gehlot writing his own epitaph if he hands over the reign to Sachin Pilot, and that is something he does not want.
Yeah, he wants to cling on to the basis of his politics. That's the bottom line.
As much as possible.
And yet there is this ambition as well, which is to become Congress president at this stage. And there cannot be a situation where he's Congress president and chief minister at the same time. That cannot happen, right?
Congress president Vishnu, I don't know how to second guess Mr. Gehlot, but in my interactions with him, I don't think he's really excited about this position. It's almost like being kicked up. Enjoy this very strong position.
That's by his own choice.
It's a crown.
It's not like he's been asked to apply. He's obviously wanting to do it.
Exactly. I don't think he's deciding on his own.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Look at it this way. Had that been the case, why would a Congress party have rushed to elect or choose a new chief minister?
Right.
They could have waited.
Right.
They could have waited for him to go and become the Congress president, and then this decision.
Do you think, Sanket, the Gandhis would be feeling a bit betrayed today? It's open. Everybody can see that this has been engineered by Ashok Gehlot. I ask that because Gehlot is one of their closest allies, and the Congress is in a mess.
Trusted lieutenant. See, this is again a classic old politician, old guard versus new guard fight in the Congress party. Those
okay,
are
Sanket, hold that thought. Hold that thought. I need to take a short break. We'll come back and discuss a lot more of this. Stay tuned.